This is a meeting of the Birmingham City Council Transportation Committee. Today is Monday, November 24th. November 14th. That's what happens when you get old and you need glasses. All right, first item of business is to consideration of the minutes from the October 24th meeting. There is one typo that needs to be corrected under item 3, but consider a motion for approval as written.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as written. With the edit.
And second. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. All right. Next item up, Mr. Alexander is going to talk to us about the Consolidated Rail Infrastructure and Safety Improvements grant application.
Good afternoon. I'm Colin Alexander, planner with the Birmingham Department of Transportation. What is before you guys is a resolution. It's an amendment of a resolution that was passed by the council back in late September. For that resolution, that was the rail crossing elimination grant that we're pursuing on the east side, a $10 million phase 1 planning grant, in which the city was going to put forth $250,000 to the non-federal match portion. That grant was successfully submitted on October 11th, and about a week later, the Federal Rail Administrator, Emmett Bowes, came to Birmingham, came to Harris Homes to look at the site. While he was visiting, he spoke to a number of officials, including Chairman O'Quinn, strongly recommending that we submit this grant to the Consolidated Rail Infrastructure Safety Improvements Program, better known as CRISI. So it's another federal pot of money. CRISI is more well established. It's got significantly more money after the infrastructure bill. He also, Administrator Bowes also reiterated that same point to Norfolk Southern officials as well. So taking his signaling, we are tweaking that application. There's a couple of requirements for CRISI that weren't required for RCE. That deadline is December 1st, so it's fast approaching. What this resolution is going to do, the city is not going to be committed to any additional funds, but what the agreement or the resolution is saying is that the $250,000 could go towards matching either RCE or CRISI funds if we're awarded. And we think that that's a really smart way to approach this. That way we have a better chance of getting funded from one of those two programs.
Right. So the understanding is that we would do one or the other. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same project. The application is the same.
I think there's an outside chance we could get partially funded from both. So, but ultimately, it's still going to be $10 million total that we're asking for. $2 million non-federal, of which $250,000 of that will be from the city of Birmingham.
Right. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Just hedging our bets. Any questions?
Yeah, just a finance one. It may be better when this gets to the agenda to have people to answer it, but just to like using the same match money to back two grants. Assuming if you got one fully funded, you will withdraw an application and or amend to put up another $250,000.
So it's kind of a complicated question, especially because of the timing of when these grants could be announced, because we know that RCE probably be announced sometime in June, and then CRISI will be sometime after that. I think the ultimate idea is, the resolution basically is a guarantee from the city saying we are going to supply this money if we win.
Right.
So I think if we were to win out of the $10 million, then when they come back, if CRISI comes back and says, hey, you got a $10 million grant, then we've already gotten the money we need out of RCE, we wouldn't accept the award. But if we didn't get the money from RCE, or if we only got a partial amount of the $10 million that we were wanting from RCE, then we have the chance to get additional funding from CRISI, and we can adjust based off of that award letter.
Okay. So I guess the applications are pretty much exactly the same?
They're
Or are
pretty
there
much
any more
exactly the
scope
same.
changes?
The CRISI requires a cost-benefit analysis, which the RCE did not, so we're in the midst of completing that with Norfolk Southern's help. But other than that, it's the exact same application.
Administrator Bose was pretty adamant that, initially we were, moving forward with the understanding that we would only apply for one, but he definitely encouraged us to, apply wherever applicable, basically. And then the deadline for the CRISI grant application is December 1st.
Correct.
So, but, because the threshold of requirements is a little bit higher, we're kind of scrambling to especially for that cost-benefit analysis.
We're going to have, so the language of it really wants us to get started on that. So we think that we can have a completed one done before the deadline, but even if we are a couple steps behind, we're going to submit what we have and have been advised by the FRA to go ahead and do it that way. And then we can come back and add addendums as they're reviewing.
Yeah. And I did speak with Terry Reynolds at the ALM conference last week, and she felt really good about us having everything come together in time to get this submitted. But to your point, Councilor Woods, I did, as soon as we left Administrator Bose, I knew that we were going to have to commit matching funds, for an application. So my question was, can you use the same funds, or do you have to find new matching money? And I think we're kind of...
Well, that was the determination we made, because we didn't provide an account that was coming from. All we said is that this is what we're going to commit to.
Yeah.
And we're not asking for additional funding out of CRISI. We're asking for the same amount of funding. So we are figuring that the federal government, if they award us the full amount, even if it's from both grants somehow, which is highly unlikely, but it's still not going to exceed that $10 million ask. So the match money is not going to be more.
As an aside, the project area crosses municipal boundaries, and as we've done some investigation, we actually figured out that
one of them is in
Irondale is actually...
So if we found ourselves in the unlikely position where we would need additional grants, then we have partners we can partner on that on.
But there was one crossing that would need to be closed as part of the project, and now that we know that Irondale is the appropriate jurisdiction, they'll be incorporated into the project, because the crossing closures that's a municipal decision. The city council basically has to authorize that. So Mayor Stewart and his folks on his council will be part of the project as well. So it'll be 3 municipalities participating. All right. Motion to recommend this to the full council for approval. All right. All in favor, say aye. 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 That motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, Colin, before you leave.
Yes, sir.
So the application for Lime is on the council agenda tomorrow.
Okay.
When I had talked to Christina initially, or after she presented to the committee, she said, that Lime wanted to do some sort of launch activities with the council. So
okay.
we'll need to get some clarification on that, because I think initially Christina wasn't thinking that the franchise agreement was going to come to the council agenda until December.
Okay. She is out of town. She should be back later this week. So
Okay.
I will touch base with her when she gets back in town.
All right, great, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Any old or new business? No, we'll consider a motion to adjourn.
Just a ever so brief update on the two recent speed cushion projects that where funding was identified. Any available information on if we're going to the next step, and that is, I want to say 5 Mile and Frida Jane.
I'll have to get with the traffic calming team and get them to give you a report. I'm not entirely sure where the process is right now with those.
All right.
Are you deputy director up there now?
No.
Get a promotion every time you come back down.
No, I just got my hands on a lot of pots.
Yeah, awesome,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Move adjournment.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.